Grapple Tournament is a game that's been out for a couple years in VR, but this week it just went free to play on the Quest 2. The name Grapple Tournament comes from the fact that this is kind of a tribute to Unreal Tournament from back in the day, but you've got a grappling hook that adds a whole element of parkour and fast-paced movement to this game. In the 2 years it's been out, it's racked up over 100 ratings, giving it about a 4.2, although a lot of those were when it was still paid, with more recent reviews mostly being high, 71% 5-star ratings, people saying they love it, people saying 10 out of 10 you need to download it, people saying that this is like Tribes, Unreal, and Quake all in VR, and even people saying that they paid for it but they're happy to see it going free to play just so it can grow more. This was a game that I personally tried a couple years ago and it was paid. It was really fun, and at the time it was fresh after launch, so there was still some players, but as we saw the community die down, it wasn't nearly as fun because you couldn't get in and get those rounds. Now that it's free, there's going to be plenty of people to play against, but of course that will also mean some of the woes that comes with free to play games. Definitely a game that if you gave it a chance back in the day or you haven't yet, I would say check it out now, especially while it's fresh and a lot of people are getting it free. I am out of breath after trying the zombie cleanup service demo. Now this is an early demo of the game and you feel it because the mechanics aren't incredible when it comes to like grabbing the zombies and ripping their limbs off, but it is so much fun when you are fighting these zombies, whether you're just repeatedly slamming their heads into the wall, the windows, picking up weapons to stab them with. You can knock off their limbs, take them out however you want. There's only 3 ratings so far and no written reviews on them, all 4 and 5 star. Personally though, this is one you gotta just get it and try it out for fun. Let your friends in it, they're gonna act like a psycho and it's just a fun time. Suck It has literally just been out for a few days. It's in beta right now so you can try it free, and this game is way more than what it appears like when you first just watch the trailer. I thought this was gonna be like a single player game where you're going in, sucking up trash, cleaning up your room. This is actually a fast-paced, highly competitive game if everyone else knows what you're doing. You get in, you suck up trash, once your vacuum's full you can empty it, and that's what upgrades you and makes you bigger and bigger. But the part of it no one was doing or seemed to realize was that you should be shooting each other also with that trash. You take each other out, you get treasure from that, and then that's what unlocks the final sequence where you can go and try to spawn the end of the game while other people try and chase you down, shoot you before it's over. I actually won the match because no one realized they should be shooting me, and I was shooting and killing probably some poor innocent kids. With that, there is 16 ratings giving it a 4.5 star, even though it's only been out for like 3 days. Almost all 5 stars, 87%. People saying it's great, people saying it's boring and pointless, most likely because they thought it was just something where you were walking around picking up trash, and that does get boring. They didn't realize there was the competitive side, I'm guessing. People saying they love to suck it, and this is from the developers of like Forever Bowling, Forever Darts. They're a really well-known developer actually. One person giving it a 1 star saying, where are the instructions? And the instructions do pop up as you're playing, but it is not super clear. A tutorial would probably help. It just kind of wants you to get in a match and start fighting, and if you actually do that and other people know that, you're gonna have a great time playing this game. And I feel like once a lot of the young people find out about this game, it's probably gonna blow up. The only game where it's not bullying, tell your friends suck it. Lurking Shadows is a game that was actually suggested by Zachy Boy because it was made by their brother. I wanted to mention this because of that, but this game, I will say a couple things are important to note. It is very early for this game. It calls out that it's clearly in beta, that you may have bugs and issues. It plays out kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's, but if you were a pizza delivery boy, you're having to manage your power, your resources, and watch out for monsters that are trying to kill you. It has jump scares and all of that sounds really good, but there's definitely some things I would say if they were improved, it would make the game a lot better. The game is very dark, which means you need to use your flashlight, but I would love to see either a starry skybox or maybe the fence wraps all the way around, because it was kind of hard to tell where the map ends and your flashlight just doesn't shine out into the darkness to see beyond there. I went through a couple nights and I never ran into the enemies outside of the tutorial, so maybe that's a bug that needs to be fixed. And the pizzas never seem to drop in temperature, so I never had to worry about warming them up to deal with getting them to the customers. But it definitely has a creepy environment, the way you hear your breathing and you're moving around and you're always waiting for something to jump around the corner. The problem was for me, nothing ever jumped around the corner, so I didn't get that scare I was looking for. For now, it's only got 2 reviews, both 5 stars, one saying it's goated, and the other one pointing out there is some bugs and glitches, but it is fun and terrifying. I'd say if this video's been out a minute, maybe some of these things have changed or improved, it could be worth checking out if you're looking for something scary. And I'm guessing it's really hard to do, but if there's a way to add multiplayer, I know everybody keeps asking me for free multiplayer horror games, and it's hard to find them, so a couple things to think about, but thanks for the suggestion, Zachy Boy. Colorway Antics is a unique take on painting in VR because unlike other painting and sculpting games where you're creating everything from scratch, this puts you almost in like a coloring book scene where you then can go through and paint each thing yourself by a brush. You have a fill tool you can throw paint or stickers to. The demo includes the full tutorial, which is kind of painfully slow, I'll warn you, but you can't just jump into the game and figure it out without having to use that. You get one full level in the demo before you decide if you want to buy anything else, and it gives you a real taste of what it's going to be like. Peaceful music, all different kind of things going on in this cave around you that you're coloring in. And if you're a fan of coloring, it's really relaxing, and you can even save in the demo version what you've done. It's only got one rating, giving it that 5-star, but they said 10 out of 10 for that rating. I applaud them adding the demo version because I found it beautiful and I really liked it. I think it'll help people decide if they want to buy the full version, although unfortunately for me personally, unless I was going to have other people play it that would like this more, I wouldn't go buy it now that I've tried the demo. It's pretty, just not something I know that I would spend much time in beyond testing it out this time. Rogue Aces VR. You better have your VR legs and be prepared for some intense motion if you even think about downloading it. If you are at that point where you can handle just about anything VR, this might be worth checking out. Meant to be kind of like the old school 2D flyers where you're flying around shooting other ships. This puts you first person, takes you off, doesn't give you much time to figure out what's going on, and gives you some pretty tough controls. If you get past the controls of using the 2 joysticks and how that turns the ship, you can actually do some amazing flying maneuvers, try and take down enemies to progress through the levels, or just jump into survival mode. It is hard and it is punishing though. And with that, it's got just a few ratings, all in that 5, 4, and 3-star category. People saying they really liked it. You can use your tricks as a combat pilot. People saying they'd like to see an actual joystick that functions in it, although I'll say it might be pretty hard to get used to that in game. And then somebody just trying to promote their links, giving it a 3-star rating. Come on, man. This was just kind of a hidden gem I happened upon, and the mechanics in it are pretty sound, although I do hope later on there's more to unlock because it could get a little boring using the same gun over and over again. But I had a lot of fun playing it because it really did kind of give you that motion feeling. If you're looking for it now, maybe hop in. Trackcraft demo is something good to have on hand if you want to show people the possibilities of mixed reality on the Quest 2. The Pro with the full color is really nice, or of course when the Quest 3 comes out. In this, you're setting up tracks around your house. You can play the default ones they've made. You can actually build them or try community-made tracks, although you have to beat some of the stock tracks to unlock the community mode. 7 ratings, mostly positive, all 5 and 4-star. People saying it's amazing, it's really great MR, surprisingly addictive, or a cool concept. It's a good one if you align it to your environment. You can actually have your cars falling off the desk and landing on the floor. I would say it's a decent one to have in your mixed reality bag, just in case someone's like, what's mixed reality like? Or when the Quest 3 comes, it's going to be a lot more mixed reality oriented. This might be one to have right in the beginning. Rogue Stargun demo has only been out for a few days, and I will say this took me back to like the early days of gaming when you were playing those crappy old flight sims. The mechanics of it are actually pretty good. The acceleration, the way the ship pitches, the way you can use the reverse thrusters, but it takes a long time to get them going. It surprised me how real of a flight sim this felt for something on Quest, but obviously very low-end graphics. Only one rating, giving it 5 stars with no words, so who knows, the person who made that could have left that review, especially since this has only been out for a few days. But if you were looking for something that's like kind of flight simmy and to get an idea of what is possible in VR, this might be something to try out and follow its development as it goes further. I was surprised for how solid the mechanics felt for it though. Intergalactic is very new, very free, and extremely rough. You get into this game expecting to be flying around shooting stuff. First of all, you have to figure out that you need to like aim down to even get the HUD to show up and click on the power, and that shows up the HUD. Then you got to activate your engine down below, and then once it's going, you're aiming with your head and the reticle, but that doesn't seem to really quite line up with what you're trying to shoot in front of you. It feels like a project someone's working on and needs a lot more work. Hopefully this is just out now so they can test it or something. I would not recommend downloading this unless you like to see how rough something is, but there's 0 ratings. No one knows about this, but who knows? Maybe they're gonna bring in more and it's gonna become something else. For now though, the frustration you feel trying to figure it out and how many times you instantly crash if you try and go up or down too far, it's an experience. Not a good one. Frenzy the Ridden is a little bit more of a well-known wave shooter. You're basically trying to survive against different kinds of zombies, some of which different weapons don't even work on. You have to think about your attacks differently. That said, the environment looks really cool. It's kind of like this Last of Us post-apocalyptic world, but the gameplay itself is rough. You can shoot parts off the zombies as they're coming at you, but it always feels like your avatar's a little too tall, even though you can recalibrate your height over and over. The reloading mechanic, it works. You have unlimited mags on your belt, but it is finicky. Somehow it's got like a 4.5-star rating, over 100 ratings though. People saying it's 5 stars, it's good, it's fun, good game. Zach here said it's decent, but enjoyed it for about 20 minutes and then it just feels like it was kind of unfinished. Definitely not the best experience they've had. I'd say that's fair and on point with this. It feels like something that's being worked on, although this one's actually been out about a year, so I don't know if they're still working on or developing it. It has potential and it looks good. If they'd get those mechanics down, this could be something good later on. I'm throwing one more bonus here at the end of Moon Soldier because it's kind of terrible. It's just a first VR project and you can feel that. Someone's trying to put this together and kind of learn about VR. And for what they did, I will say the one thing worth it is go in and look at the skybox, the planets around you, the world. It all looks really pretty. Beyond that though, all you're doing is punching asteroids that are coming at you, try not to get hit by them. 3 of them hit you and they kill you, or if they get past you, they're hitting your base behind you. You're trying to keep your base from dying and it just racks up a high score. This is a stepping stone to another bigger game coming though, so I'm excited to watch for that because they did a good job of getting all their mechanics to work reliably. And one person who actually left a written review of 5-star said, I enjoy. Maybe if you try to look at it from like a fitness angle, maybe you'd like stand there and punch on these, but you'll get bored pretty quick. As more portals appear, it gets a bit more hectic, but not something you're probably gonna want to spend time downloading. But with that, 10 more free games, mostly brand new ones, obviously some demos and some really rough ones, but I'm here to test them for you so you get an idea ahead of time what's in them. Thank you again for coming out, and I will see you in another reality.